Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week we look at words and phrases related to everything about delicious pizza. We learn some of the key words of what makes up one of our favourite foods from Italy. We will be looking at the following words and phrases: pizza toppings, pizza-based dough, protein, stuffed crust, self-raising flour, and as always, we help you with your pronunciation, help you to understand definitions, and use examples of English you are likely to hear in everyday life. Don't forget to stay until the end to test your knowledge by taking our quiz. Anyway, let's get started with the first term. The first phrase we have for you in this lesson is pizza toppings. Now let's have a look at how we would pronounce this. Pizza toppings. And again, pizza toppings. Excellent. So now let's move on to the definition and example. So firstly, the definition is the ingredients which are added to the top of pizzas to give them their specific flavour. And moving on to the example, we can use Alan preferred ham and pineapple pizza toppings, whilst Jane liked sausages. The second phrase we have for you in the lesson is pizza base dough. Now let's have a look at this and learn how to pronounce it. Pizza base dough. And one more time. Pizza base dough. Excellent. And again, we now move on to the definition and example. So again, firstly, let's take a look at the definition of pizza base dough. This is the ingredient that makes up the round bottom of all pizzas. And an example is, the first thing that John needed to do when making his pizza was to make the ingredients for the pizza base dough. The next word in this week's lesson is protein. Now let's have a look how we pronounce this more specifically. Protein. And again, protein. Great, that's not such a difficult word to pronounce. So now let's move on to look at the definition and example. So the definition of protein is as follows. This is an element found in foods which is used by our bodies to help us grow and repair damage. Great, and the example is, Jane's pizza contained a lot of protein thanks to the fact that she used a lot of sausages, which are well known for protein. Stuffed crust is the next phrase in this week's lesson. Now let's have a look at how we pronounce this. Stuffed crust. And again, stuffed crust. Excellent. Now let's have a look at how we would define this as well as giving an example. So the definition of stuffed crust is when the outer edges of the pizza base dough are folded over and cheese is placed inside. Fantastic. And the example could be, Gary loved stuffed crust pizzas because he really enjoyed the melted cheese found in the thicker edges or crusts. We have now reached the final phrase for this week's lesson, and this is self-raising flour. And this is pronounced self-raising flour. And again, self-raising flour. Excellent. That's a pretty long phrase. So let's try one more time. Self-raising flour. Fantastic. And now it's time to look at the definition as well as an example. So self-raising flour can be defined as a powdery white ingredient used in the pizza base which helps the dough rise when cooked. And the example could be, Amy added the self-raising flour to her pizza dough so it would help her pizza grow thicker when cooked. Now it's time to test your knowledge with our weekly quiz to see how much of today's lesson you can remember. So this week's question is, what is the name given for ingredients on top of a pizza? Is it A, tastes, B, toppings, or C, elements? And the correct answer is B, toppings. Fantastic. So let us know in the comments if you got the right answer. Thank you for joining us today. Next week, we will be looking at words and phrases related to online post offices. If you have any questions about this video or would like us to explain a term for you from any context, then please post your question in the comments box below. We are always happy to help you out. Don't forget to like our video to help us find more viewers and expand our channel in order to provide you and everyone else an even better experience. Why not hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you never miss our future videos. Thanks for your company in today's lesson and see you again next week. Goodbye.